Hello all. Today we have yet another piece of work on hand. And talking about Tamil Sangam literature, we have a lot of doubts regarding the date of several works that are available on hand today. Well, scholars have a lot of disagreements on the dates of several works, but what they unanimously agree upon is that they're all expertly written and most of them are more than 3000 years old. We have to understand that these literary works are not mere records of language alone. They are records of social history as well. Because most of the works give us detailed accounts about the political situation that prevailed during that period, who the kings were, what sort of region they ruled, what sort of people lived over there, what their civilization was, how the society prevailed, their lifestyle, their food style, the flora, the fauna, the surrounding, everything has been recorded in the forms of poems, especially in the Sangam literature. And the poem that we have on hand today is, of course, more than 3000 years old. Talking about Sangam literature, we have to take into account what the famous Tolkappiyar has put forward. Tolkappiyar says that the genres of literary works can be split, or rather the poems can be classified into 5 types. They are Sirupaanaatrupadai. Sirupaanaatrupadai refers to poems that guided minstrels. Pulavaraatrupadai, poems that guided poets. Kootharaatrupadai, poems that guided performing artists. Viraliyaatrupadai, poems that guided women artists. And Purunaraatrupadai, poems that guided bards. These were the 5 categories of poems that we have on hand today. Thanks to Dr. Uvesa, or called U.V. Swaminathan Iyer, and his team, who dedicated most of their lifetime in searching for such literary works and bringing them in print form. And it is our duty to pass these rich literary forms on to our future generations so that they will know where our roots lie. And our roots are not shallow, they are deeper than we know. Today, we are going to deal with translation of Sirupaanaatrupadai, written by Idaikali Nallur Nattattanar. Idaikali is a small place in the Chengalpattu district of southern India. Sirupaanaatrupadai talks about a king who is lesser known. Most of the historians have told us about Cheras, Cholas, Pandyas, lot of kings who ruled over vast kingdoms. But only such literary works tell us about kings who really were on par with the Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas. Some of them were even better. Today we are going to deal with one such king who was indeed on par with all the 3, or rather he was better than all the 3 put together. We are going to deal with Nalliyakodan of Oymaan kingdom. The Oyman kingdom spreads from a hilly region near Vellore and it extended till the seashore, or rather the eastern coast. So it had all types of land which are mentioned in ancient literature. It had the mountain area, it had lush fertile farmlands, it had thick forests, and it had seashore as well. It also had desertous land on the outskirts. When we say desert, we're not talking about dunes of sands with no trees or plants and camels roaming around. No, that is the picture given to us by modern historians, or rather modern fiction tellers. What we are talking about is the area where rains totally abandoned. Rains forgot their duties to perform, and such areas turned out dry and were termed as Palai or deserts. So we are not talking about sandy areas, we're talking about dry areas with humid climate. We shall get into the poem and we will know that we are going to deal with a king who is praised so much. Is he really worth it? We shall get in the poem and know more about him. Sirupaanaatrupadai, Minstrels Guide. Nilamahalin Thotram. Manimale Panaithol Manila Madandai. Animule Tuyal Varu Aram Pola. செல்புணல் உழந்த செய்வரல் காண்யாற்று கொல்கரைநரும் பொழில் குயில் குடைந்து உதிர்த்த புதும்பூஞ்ச் செம்மல் சூடி புடி நெறித்து கதுப்பு விரித்தன்ன காளகனுணங்கு அரல். The land dame's beauty. The land dame with gem crests and sturdy shoulders, like a dangling necklet flowing over her bust. The river from the peaks blend with the forest floods, thoroughly distressed, brimming banks, balmy groves where the songbirds scatter. Fresh locks curled up like the fine ebony sand. We have been introduced to the mountain of Oyman kingdom. It resembles the bust of a woman who is wearing a beautiful necklace. The Oyman kingdom on the hilly area is almost desertous. So the rivers that flowed are no longer there. They have changed their course completely, leaving only a blank sandy stretch. This sandy stretch, where once a very rich river flowed, is now completely barren, and that barren piece of land resembles a necklace on the neck of a dame. இளைப்பாறும் பாணன் அயிலுறுப்பு அணைய ஆகி ஐது நடந்து வெயிலுறுப்பற்ற வெம்பரல் கிழிப்ப வேனில் நின்ற வெம்பத வழிநாள் காலை ஞாயிற்று கதிர்கடா உறுப்ப பாலை நின்ற பாலை நெடுவழி சுரன் முதல் மராத்த வரிநிழல் அசையி. Where the minstrel rests, tiptoe walked like one stepped on white-hot iron, as the roasted pebbles to one's feet. One fine day of the hottest summer, when the sun shot his blazing beams through the deserted deserts with leafless trees casting spindly shadows. So, we start our journey on a summer day. Remember, Oyman kingdom is mostly desertous, and it's the peak of summer. All the leaves on the trees have dried out, and the shades that are cast by the trees are extremely thin. They are not lush. Had they been lush, the minstrels who are traveling by would find it very shady. But they find it extremely hot to travel, so they had to rest wherever it's possible to. And as and when they take rest, they find that it's getting hotter by the day. So let us continue our journey with our minstrels and see what they are up to. விரலியரின் அழகு ஐது வீழ் இகுப்பெயல் அழகு கொண்டு அருளி நெய் கனிந்து இருளிய கதுப்பின் கதுப்பு என மடிவயின் கலாபம் பரப்பி பலவுடன் மயில் மயில் குளிக்கும் சாயல் சாய் உயங்கு நாய் நாவின் எல் எழில் அசையி வயங்கு இழை உலரிய அடியின் அடி தொடர்ந்து ஈர்ந்து நிலம் தோயும் இரும்பிடி தடக்கையின் சேர்ந்து உடன் செறிந்த குரங்கின் குரங்கு என மால்வரை ஒழுகிய வாழை வாழைப்பூ என பொலிந்த ஓதி நளிச்சினை வேங்கை நாள் மலர் நச்சி களிச்சுரும்பு அரற்றும் சுணங்கின் சுணங்கு பிதிர்ந்த யானர் கோங்கின் அவிர்முகை எள்ளி பூனகத்து ஒடுங்கிய வெம்முலை முலையெனவன் கோட்பெண்ணை வளர்த்து நுங்கின் இன்சேறு இகுதரும் எயிற்றின் எயிறு என குல்லை அம்புரவின் குவிமுகை அவிழ்ந்த முல்லை சான்ற கற்பின் மெல்லியல் மடமான் நோக்கின் வானுதல் விரலியர். The lovely lady minstrels, like the first steady drizzles, beauty unmatched, anointed deepish dark hair, and a competing the luster of the blue gem like plumes of several peacocks that shy away, gossamer like the tongue of a wary dog, beauty beyond words, so dazzling to dim those shiny jewels not worn, firm on land fixed like trunk of a she-elephant, their shapely thighs placed so close to each other, thick locks that flow down like bowed plantain, tipped with tightly closed blossom, their knotted ends, golden freckles like deceivingly fresh blooms on large kino branches, raided by buzzers relishing nectars from golden pollens, scattered golden silk cotton flowers from their tree like teasing buds that bear the jewels over their bosoms, similarly rounded palm fruits, so huge and bearing the sweetest juices, their sweetest flavor shining through their pearly teeth, that shine like jasmine buds amidst dark-leaved weeds, their chastity purest for sure. The beady-eyed, bold-necked lady minstrels. Here, we are given a detailed description about the lady minstrels who are traveling along with our head minstrel. Minstrels are poets who often played small lutes to accompany their songs. And their troupe would normally be large enough, and they would have chorus singers, lead female singers, dancers. Sometimes they might even have little boys and girls serving them. Now, our lady minstrels' beauty is elaborately given in the poem. This is one of the traditions that were followed in Sangam literary poems. Either they were Padadi Kesa Varnane, means toe to head description, or Kesadi Pada Varnane, which means head to toe descriptions. So here, the poet compares the very lustrous hair of the lady minstrels to the huge thick trunk of an elephant. He says that they are extremely beautiful. They have long locks of hair and their eyes are so shiny like pieces of gems on jewels that are never been owned. If you notice the difference, the jewels that we often wear are a bit dull when compared to those that are safely kept in our safes. So he says that their eyes are very shiny, sharp, they seem very shrewd, and their skin is glowing, and they are very young as well. Now, the lady minstrels are accompanying our main head minstrel. They are moving towards some place. We are not sure where. So, we shall continue with the poem. Viraliyarin Kalai Tadavi Vidum Idayargal. நடைமெலிந்த அசையியர் நல்வெண் சீரடி கல்லா இளையர் மெல்லத் தைவர. As the juveniles pamper the lady minstrels. Those dainty small feet, tired of long weary walks, pressed and pampered by low-brow juveniles. The poet compares the lady minstrels' feet to that of the dried-up, weary dog's tongue. A dog which runs far away will be gasping for breath and its tongue would be hanging out. Imagine touching the tongue of a dog. It would be very soft at the same time dry. So he says that the lady minstrels' feet are something similar to a dog's tongue. And like I said, these minstrels would often be accompanied by small girls and boys. These kids were employed to serve the minstrels. These juveniles would help the lady minstrels with their makeup, their dressing, and of course they would massage their feet whenever they are tired. So these lady minstrels are extremely tired and the juveniles are helping them to relax. Where are they heading? Are they going to meet somebody? We shall continue in the next part. Thank you.